To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this. I believe this is going to be great for boxing, and I believe we're going to win.
My reason for going back and watching American boxing is solely down to Floyd. Like, I was obsessed with everything Floyd Mayweather did.
He's going to have, after the fight is over, then so be it. I'm already in a no-win situation anyway. To me, it's a win-win. But I'm in a no-win because if I knock him out fast in the first round, they're going to be like, oh, man, this wasn't worth it. If I let it go a few rounds and drag it out, they're going to be like, oh, man.
I've always been in the gym training. I'm in boxing, professional fighters. I'm just, activity is great. I had 15 fights in 1 year when I was younger, and I think activity is great.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson come together in a tense face-to-face moment, and it instantly turns into a fiery exchange. Both men talking tough, refusing to back down, and making it clear this is more than just talk as the pressure rises and the rivalry energy takes over between two of boxing's biggest names.
No, they should bring it up. Okay. They should see the difference from there to now.
Gotcha.
Me at my worst, to me at the biggest event in the history of events right now. There's never been any bigger than this. So what they have to say about that?
What does that say about you if you lose?
Well, I'm not gonna lose. So I can't even fathom losing. I can't even imagine it. I think he thinks this is gonna be a very easy night.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. stays ice-cold and confident in the heated face-to-face, completely himself and never looking shaken, carrying that same champion energy as he makes it clear he's still sharp, still fast, and still hungry to prove he's got the skill and the fire to back it all up.
Control, go out there, have some fun, and do what I do best.
Mike Tyson makes it clear he's ready for this challenge, saying he's training harder than ever and feeling locked in, looking sharp and confident as he believes he can step up when it matters and show everyone he's still a serious problem.
For his money, by the time he gets his money, everybody else took their percentage out already. So you don't know who's who. You get what they give you.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing extra large.
Rafael Corderero, Mike Tyson's trainer, says Tyson is on another level right now, stronger, faster, and sharper than he was for the Roy Jones fight, and he's watching that focus and power come together in a way that makes this version of Mike look even more dangerous.
Whereas Mike put everything together. So mentally, physically, we're excited, man. Excited. If the fight was next Saturday, you will be ready for it. So we talk about Roy was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was.
Mike Tyson looks completely dialed in during camp, going hard in sparring with real force, testing his power and conditioning, and pushing himself to the edge every session so he's fully prepared for the massive challenge ahead.
Okay. Calm, be right.
Good. Round one. Oh, feel. Cut the ring. Exactly.
Jeff Mayweather says Floyd has always been comfortable being the bad guy in boxing, and that's never bothered him, but a fight with Mike Tyson would be a huge moment that could test his legacy in a serious way, while also giving Floyd the perfect stage to show that same confidence, control, and skill he's built his name on.
It's easy, because Floyd always was the bad guy. Once again, he's gonna be the bad guy. And I think that if there's any way to try to remove his O.
Meanwhile, Tony Jeff claims Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s push to return is fueled by pride and ego, saying Floyd hates feeling overlooked, especially after the Tyson vs. Jake Paul spotlight, and he wants to step back in and remind everyone why his name still carries weight.
Why we can, and then get out of the sport. But with these two, they're multi-millionaires. And I want to get into the tail of the tape and talk about exactly the records and all of that stuff with it. But first, I just want to say, I believe that these are doing this for different things. Mike Tyson is doing it purely for the money. Purely for the money. Floyd is doing it for the money as well, but also I believe Floyd's doing it for that limelight. You've seen the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul got, and I think this is the most viewed fight of all time, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I might be wrong in saying that, but I'm sure it was. It was hosted on Netflix, and Floyd's been one in the past with his ego that he wants to just, be in that limelight all the time. And when
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going all in camp, moving with crazy sharpness and clean footwork, looking surprisingly fresh as he shows the same speed, timing, and precision that made him untouchable in his prime.
Look right here. Right here, hook. Again. Hook right here. Slide and drop. Punch it, point it, help me go. Drop. Walking. Pitch it. Six. Punch it. Pitch it.
Short. Now look at it.
Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know they distance.
Floyd is ripping the heavy bag with real pop and perfect placement, throwing fast, clean shots while showing off his technique and staying locked in like he's on a mission, proving the focus and skill are still right there.
Again, touch the guy. Hey,
Analyst Henry is seriously worried about where boxing is heading with all these legend comeback exhibitions, saying it feels like the sport is chasing money more than meaning, especially with Manny Pacquiao lined up to face Rosalind Nikoff and Floyd Mayweather Jr. being linked to Mike Tyson, matchups that to him don't feel necessary for boxing at all, just profitable. And he admits the whole thing feels awkward and uncomfortable when older fighters keep getting pulled back in for another run. With the Tyson situation raising even more alarm after his recent big return against Jake Paul that already had people arguing about what boxing is becoming.
Mike Tyson of all people, that's the most money motivated thing I've ever heard. It's utterly bizarre. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near the ring again, especially after that Jake Paul fiasco. This whole thing's incredibly weird. I don't like it. I'm a proper boxing fan, and these fights to me, this OAP stuff they've got going on when they bring back these old fighters for one more go at each other, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy. Now look, it's going to be on Netflix, it's probably going to be a massive event. I'm probably going to end up covering it, because they are two former champions of note, and it is going to go on their professional records. But if you thought the first fight wasn't particularly entertaining, I can't imagine this one's going to be much better. The one thing I will say is that I believe Pacquiao's in better condition.
At the same time, Henry admits this would be a massive event, especially with a platform like Netflix involved, and even with all the criticism there's still real curiosity because the main storyline becomes Decline, who has lost more sharpness, who still has something left, since Mayweather has been inactive for years, but Pacquiao has taken far more wars over his career, and that uncertainty is exactly what pulls people in, even the hardcore fans who don't like the idea.
Such a long time, which you could argue means he won't be as sharp in the ring. But then on the other hand, Pacquiao's had way more fights than Mayweather has, so you could argue he's got less left in the tank. It's difficult to figure out what it means for either guy, and we don't really know which way it's going to go. But I guess, if I'm being really honest, as much as I don't love it, there's always going to be a little bit of intrigue there. Kind of don't like myself for it, but I'm just being honest with you guys. And I think if we want to have a real conversation about what this fight represents is a continued frustration around the truth about the first fight, which was that it came too late and it turned into more and more of a cash grab. This fight embodies that to a whole new level. Even for the broadcaster Netflix, I don't believe they're truly invested in the sport of boxing. They'll take one-off big events that get them more subscribers, that increase their revenue, that increase their subscription base, but they don't really care about the sport. If they did, they'd be putting on a lot more events than just these mega fights that involve, influencers and...
$1 is throwing up major questions about the reported Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Mike Tyson clash in Congo, wondering if it's actually real or if it's quietly dying off behind the scenes, because the timing makes no sense to him, announced in February for a September date, which is a massive gap when most fights only get a 3 to 4 month build. So that long runway either means they're trying to create a huge worldwide rollout or it signals uncertainty and shaky planning, and he also looks at Netflix's approach, saying they seem focused on big spectacle matchups that grab attention first.
Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in the Congo. Is that now scrapped? Why are they announcing this several months before the event? I mean, is it a massive build-up? I mean, when you think about it, most fights are announced 3 months, 4 before an event. This one, September. We are in February, people. Like, what is going on? I mean, what are Netflix doing? Netflix are kind of, obviously, they're picking up and putting on really random stuff. Like Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. If you are an MMA fan, that fight was supposed to happen way more than a decade ago. Way more than a decade ago. They're doing it now. Will it get big numbers? I guess it kind of will. They've obviously done the Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul versus AJ. They done massive numbers. Crawford Canelo, a serious fight. And
he connects it to crossover hype and the huge numbers Jake Paul events pull, saying the platform clearly chases mass appeal, and Aid admits that formula probably works even if the matchups feel a bit random, but despite the doubts he speaks as a real Floyd Mayweather Jr. supporter, explaining that his love for boxing grew from watching Mike Tyson dominate, then following the British stars, and later getting pulled back toward America because of Floyd's greatness, and he sees Mayweather as a rare type who mastered both selling the fight and controlling the ring with elite intelligence, in a way that reminds him of what Conor McGregor did in his own world.
Massive Floyd fan. Like, my journey into boxing, obviously when I was young, it was very much Mike Tyson, but then it went and became a UK thing. The ITV days of, I don't know, Ben Eubank, etc., Michael Watson, and then eventually Joe Calzaghe, Prince Nassim, etc., etc. My reason for going back and watching American boxing is solely down to Floyd. Like, I was obsessed with everything Floyd Mayweather did. I thought he was a genius when it came to marketing and a genius in the ring. Like, it's very rare that the two go together, which is why I think everyone kind of fell in love with Conor McGregor, right? Because Conor McGregor was a genius outside the ring in terms of how to sell a fight. And in the octagon, he actually proved that he can fight as well. Floyd, obviously on a completely different level, but you know what I mean? Very similar. Someone that talks the talk and walks the walk.
Make sure you like, subscribe to Fighters Arena Pro, and share this video with every real fight fan out there. Much love from Fighters Arena Pro.